Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer. Today we're going to take a look at how the Benton Shifts&Grins fits on our 2025 Toyota Sienna. Now if you've got any questions about this bike rack after watching the video, or if you decide to go with it and you've got some stories to tell, go ahead and share those in the comments below. We love to take those and share them with other neighbors in order to help them make the best decision for themselves. Now if you are looking for an extremely versatile two-bike platform rack to go in the hitch of your Sienna minivan, this is really a great option. And by versatile, I mean it accommodates a lot of different tire widths, a lot of different wheelbases, and it can be switched from being a tire mount to a frame mount. But in order to really kind of determine how this is going to fit on our Sienna, we're just going to take a look at a few things. So one of the first things that I want to look at is just how much clearance am I going to have back here between the vehicle and the bike, specifically up here in the handlebar area. Now this is a really large bike. It's got 15-inch handlebars, and as you can see, we're really not in any danger of it hitting our back window, even if we end up on a really bumpy road. The other thing to keep in mind is that when we're riding around and we have bikes on it, we are going to have some obstruction to our rear view camera. So knowing just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind our bumper is crucial. And this is going to come out just under 32 inches past your bumper. So just keep that in mind. You've almost got 3 extra feet back here that you need to accommodate for whenever you're parallel parking or backing into a tight space. The other thing we want to take a look at is our ground clearance. Now from the farthest part of the bike rack, we're just over 15 inches off of the ground. That's not really too bad as far as ground clearance goes. We do want to, however, keep in mind that we also have this section down here. Now it's much closer to the vehicle, so inclines may or may not affect it as much. But in order to figure out just what we've got going on there, we're at about 8.5 inches off the ground from this point here. So those are things to keep in mind when you come up on those steep driveways or inclines. Now, one of the biggest questions people tend to come up with when they're talking about a vehicle with a liftgate is, will I be able to have access to my liftgate with the bike on the rack? And the answer is yes, you will. By coming down here, we're going to brace the bike, we're going to pop in this button here, and we're going to slowly tilt it away from the vehicle. And then we'll go ahead and open our liftgate and just make sure we've got some clearance here. We do. So even with this bike, with the larger pedals and the wider handlebars, we're still able to get full access in and out of the back of the vehicle. So if I need to get some water, grab my helmet, change my shoes, any sort of thing like that, it's going to be very, very easy to do. And it's a really simple mechanism in order to get it done, just simply with that button. And in order to raise the bike back up, that's of course very simple as well. We're just simply going to brace it, grab it down here, we're going to lift it up till it clicks. There we go, and the button's going to pop out. That lets you know it's locked up in its upright position, and we are ready to hit the road. Now, I had mentioned earlier that as a platform rack, and it can accommodate all these different bikes with its versatility, the reason for that is that the hook on our attachment arm here is completely removable. So if you have a bike with a custom paint job or a carbon fiber frame, you can wheel mount it. However, if you have fenders, you might want to remove this hook, bring it back to the frame, and now we can frame mount it. But in order to take the bike off, it's of course very simple. First thing we need to do is undo our 2 ratcheting straps that are down here at our wheels. So we can get those out, feed those back and out of the way. Then we can come over and lower our arm. Now we're free to go ahead and remove our bike and hit the trail. Now the Benton Shifts&Grins is made of steel. It is about 63.5 pounds. So that's a lot of weight to reinstall and uninstall every time you're riding around without your bikes. But it does have a stowaway position. We're going to use that same button here, and we're simply going to lift up on it to put it in the stowaway position. And now that we have it in place here, we took a significant amount of that footprint off the back. We probably cut it almost in half. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, we're down to just under 18 inches, so almost cut it in half, so that's going to give you a lot more space coming out back here in the back. And it doesn't sit terribly close to the vehicle either when we have it tilted up. So that's good. We've got some good clearance back there. Now, as far as any obstructions, in the stowaway position, we're not going to be obstructing our taillights at all. Our license plate, while the bottom might be a little bit blocked, it's generally in a pretty good full view. We might have a little bit of obstruction coming out of our rear view camera right here, but knowing that you've only got about 1.5 feet extra back here, you should be able to gauge those tighter spaces pretty well. So overall, I think the Benton Shifts&Grins is a good option for you and your Toyota Sienna, especially if you're somebody that likes to have the ability to carry a variety of different bikes on your travels. So with that said, excellent choice. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.